What's going on after hours? So this is an upgrade I've wanted to do for a really long time. Engine hoist is going from here to here in usability. So as you saw, we're going to be upgrading our engine hoist. The engine hoist that we've been using for 4 or 5 years now is one that a lot of you have. It's the 2-ton from Pittsburgh Tools that Harbor Freight sells. I've used this thing for so many different things, so many engines, but lifting stuff out of my truck, my car lift over there came on a huge pallet. I actually didn't have a tractor at the shop or a way to lift it at the time. I used the engine hoist to lift up one end, put it on a dolly, skate it across the floor, help me unpackage it. This thing's been awesome. But with all that use, the stock piston is starting to get a little soft. So it goes up all the way, but it doesn't hold pressure all the time. I've checked the fluid, but the other thing is you get, when you're trying to do things real critically, like when you're trying to lower them down, like it's hard on some of these rams to like make that nice and smooth. So what we're doing is we picked up from Harbor Freight the 8-ton heavy duty hydraulic jack. So we're going to be able to hook up the air compressor to this and use this to air up the ram. And then I'm also picking up a dial they sell for the drop valve. It hasn't come yet, but I'm waiting for it. I believe it was TMR makes it, and it's just a 3D printed dial that goes on, and it makes it much easier to tighten and loosen that the release valve on the bottom of the ram. So we're going to unpackage this and get this thing installed and see how it works. What's up, buddy? You got a helper in the shop today. Moose, come here. Come on. Hi, buddy. You going to help us? Yeah, we going to get this thing all set up? Good boy. He's the best. I don't know if I could imagine life without having a dog. They call him man's best friend for a reason. All right. Let's see what we got in here. So, instructions. Who reads those? You don't need those. Got a new release handle. Hang on to that. Set that aside. And then we have our ram. This is a beefy unit. All right. So what we got here is the new ram. And this basically just bolts in just like the stock ram is, the one that came on it. You got a bolt in the upper and lower. They're 24 millimeter nut and bolt. So we're just going to unbolt that one, bolt this one in. And then here's our air chuck, which will just hook up to our normal air hose. And then we'll see how she works. Well, there's the stock ram. Now we'll save that in case we can use it for something else in the future. It still works, it's just not great, and it's a lot nicer having air. What? What do you want? You gonna help? Give me a kiss. That's a good boy. Don't touch my camera. Okay. We actually need to put air in it right away. Just collapsed, it won't even get into the set hole. Okay, now apparently, oh, yep. So if you don't know, they sell these different sizes. This has an extended top half, and it doesn't work with all of my other air tools. So luckily, I think I have one of these over in the storage. I'll go grab that. We'll swap out this fitting. So you can see here, it's a very slight difference, but this is the one that came on it, and this is the one I use on all of my tools. Very so slightly different, but they are. Whenever you're dealing with these fittings, you always wrap everything, all the threads with Teflon tape. Keeps the air from wanting to leak out. I usually go 4 or 5 wraps, seems to be adequate. Watch your toes, buddy. Right. Now, let's see if this works. Close this valve on the bottom. That's good and tight. Perfect. Washer first, and the nut. Big thing on the bottom. Oh, that's so much easier. I've wanted to do this for several years. Sorry for the background noise. My compressor just kicked on. Awesome. Really excited about that. So, very efficient and very easy way to modify your Harbor Freight engine hoist. And I'll put a link in the description for this ram. Now, you got to be careful too, because this is an 8-ton, I think, extra, 8-ton long ram, they call it. And they sell these in different brands, like I think Vivor has one, and a couple other guys. Chance, stop pushing on my camera. What are you doing? And they're supposedly don't fit right. So if you're going to do this mod and you have a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh engine hoist, just go to Harbor Freight and buy the 8-ton long ram round bottom air hydraulic jack. That's what it's called. So that's done. There's other mods we can do to this. And in the future, I want to weld on, like on this cross brace, I just want to weld on a couple hooks so that I can hang the chain on there. And I also want to put on the backside here, I want to weld a bracket across the backside and put just like a little tray there. And in that tray, I want to keep some small things like a soft shackle. If you haven't used soft shackles, look them up. They're very handy. I want to put some soft shackles in there, a couple bow shackles, extra length of chain, and then some stopper bolts. So basically, if you're trying to pick something up with the chain and it wants to slide through the hook, all you do is slide a couple heavy bolts through the chain, and then it won't slide through the eyelet of the hook. So a lot of guys put shackles in replace of the hook, but I personally use this for a lot of different things, not just engines, and that hook is very handy. So I'm going to leave mine on there. I prefer that. And that would be that. I think that's our mods for the Harbor Freight engine hoist. Very, very excited with that. Let me go turn this compressor off. I want to show you guys a couple other things. I had to switch you over to the handheld instead of carrying the tripod around. God, this thing's loud. There it goes. All right. I'll try to mute that in the video. Hopefully it doesn't crush everybody. So the other thing I was going to show you is the air compressor. So I've been using this guy for years and it's worked well. Again, Harbor Freight. This is, what do they call it? The Fortress. This is one of the larger compressors they sell. And it's done really well. It's worked for pretty much everything I've needed it to, from Raptor lining full vehicles, running all my air tools. But I was very lucky in that I got this guy. Let me turn the light on here. I'll give you guys a shop tour at some point. But, so I picked up this 80-gallon snap-on compressor. And this is a very expensive compressor. And honestly, I would have never been able to afford it. But my brother-in-law had it and he didn't really need it. So he gave me this one and I gave him another stand-up compressor I had that's similar to the one I just showed you. So it's worked out awesome for me and he still has air for what he needs. So what we ended up doing in the shop is I still have to wire this. It's not wired into the new sub panel yet. We just built this addition on the shop. But I ran these air lines. I'll put a link to them in the description, but I got them off of Amazon. I got that on Amazon too. It's a water air separator and regulator. So we ran a primary disconnect here. And then all I got to do is connect this once it's wired in. And it runs in a hard line there and goes up through the top. And comes out up there. And then I teed it off and it comes down to this air reel. And then I ran another air line across to this end of the shop to this air reel, which is one of the retracting ones. This is also Harbor Freight. And on this one, I did another air separator and pressure regulator, because I'm going to use this when I do more painting to help keep the moisture out of everything, because I'll be able to drain it down right here all the way at the end of the line and keep any moisture from getting in while you paint, because that is the worst thing that can happen while you're trying to paint a vehicle, is moisture in your air. The other line I ran up and across, comes across over there and comes down to here. And then I have this line that runs down to my tire machine, which a good friend of mine, Ronnie, who I mentioned in a previous video, who owns Fully Loaded Performance, he gave me these 2 units. They were extras that he had when he bought out another business, and he wasn't using them. So I got to clean them up, but we have a balancer and a mounting machine in the shop now, which is really awesome. And then I'm going to get another little hose reel, and it'll come off on that lower half there, which also has a shut-off valve. So I have another air hose. So we'll have air to the tire machines. We'll have air, an extra air hose here that I can run outside to fill tires. Got all those air lines I just showed you. And then I also ran one over to this side. It's behind the steel beam, and then it comes down right in this corner to here. And then this hose reel is going to get moved over to that. So I'll have an air hose reel on this side also. And then this compressor will just go out in storage. I got to move my wash tank and reorganize this corner because this is where the compressors lived for years now. So that's the air update for the shop, which I'm very excited about, so I don't have to drag one hose all over the place. It is so cold here right now. I believe it's like 3 degrees outside, and with wind chill, it's below 10 Fahrenheit. And both of my mini splits can't keep up, keeping the shop above 55 degrees. So I'm running that little propane heater, which keeps it really comfortable in here. And yeah, the shop's got spray foam insulation too. Not a lot. We only did 3 inches, but it's just so frigid cold outside. And I live by a big field. So the wind hammers across that field right into the building, and it picks up every draft, and it just can't keep up. But in the summertime, even when it's 100 degrees outside, those things are key because the AC is a wonderful thing to have. So that's that update. And then we're going to be doing a couple reviews. I have never touched a TIG welder in my entire life. And I went out and I bought one of the Yes welder. It's the 200p AC/DC. I've had this MIG welder for about a year now. I haven't practiced a lot. Welding's something I've wanted to learn for a very long time. So I will be spending a lot more time welding, and you'll get to see a video and make fun of me for how horrible I weld, because I'm going to put it out there for all you to see. You can't be afraid to try new things. Never be afraid to try new things. And then we also picked up from Harbor Freight, they're the biggest, plasma cutter. So that's going to be fun to play with. I've used them in the past. I had an old one years ago, and I always wanted to get another one. So we just picked that up. So now we've got a MIG and stick welder. We've got an AC/DC TIG welder and a plasma cutter. So the shop is going to continue to get updates and grow so that I can grow my abilities and the things that we can do here at the shop. So lots of fun things in store. Just wanted to put this little video out on the engine hoist upgrade, and it's 100% worthwhile. Oh, here's another one. Very similar to the engine hoist. They're press. So I swapped out the manual bottle jack for the Harbor Freight air over hydraulic bottle jack. This is a 20-ton unit. And then what we did is Swag Off Road makes all kinds of accessories for this. So you can bend plate steel. I've bent 1/4-inch steel in this thing. It's absolutely awesome. But they make all different kinds of accessories for the Harbor Freight 20-ton press. And then again, I just added the air over hydraulic, plug it in. It bends up all the metal I need. I've used this thing a ton. Super handy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Just wanted to put a little quick video out for you. I appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you want to see in particular. And remember, nothing stays stock. I'm out.